Councillor Kelly.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, and appreciate you spearheading this conversation and taking on this initiative. And want to appreciate show my appreciation to staff for the presentation. There was some eye-opening remarks in there, and as my colleague Councillor Dudas raised the issue of fairness, that was on my mind throughout your presentation. And a couple comments and maybe some small questions embedded in here on the fairness aspect of that. And I appreciate Councillor Brown's comments around transit, because if rates are falling short in terms of covering the ratio between what's supposed to be covered by rate and taxes, and that's being covered by property taxes, then I do believe that's unfair to my residents who don't have access to transit, or who would only have access to transit if they had a car to drive to a park and ride. So that's one issue that came to my mind. 24 Sussex also comes to my mind, and the vacant unit tax, and the numerous residents that have reached out to me over the last few months or since the VUT was implemented, who have had to jump through hoops to prove that their 100-year-old farmhouse does not have power, is not habitable. And it sounds like to me that the NCC can just pay whatever they like in terms of taxes. I know you were in Kinburn for the water rate review meeting. And this is sort of a rhetorical question because I can imagine what your response would be, but can you imagine telling the people of West Carleton March at that meeting that the NCC gets to decide how much they pay in terms of a water rate review? I think that would have been a pretty rough ride for everyone in the room. I have residents who pay thousands of dollars a year who live on roads that are unmaintained by the City of Ottawa that were maintained by the Township of West Carleton. So they pay $4,000 a year in taxes and get their garbage picked up every 2 weeks. They don't get their ditch cut. They don't get the road resurfaced. They have to pay for that out of their own pocket. And I'm listening to my colleagues across the city who struggle with other issues, homelessness and housing crisis, growing mental health and addictions crisis. I think we all come to this table asking for more. And I've heard a couple references of, well, let's just raise property taxes to the same rate that Toronto has. I would never support raising our taxes 8 or 9% without, well, first of all, I would never support that. Second of all, I don't think that many people in the City of Ottawa would support something like that unless we took every other effort to raise revenues. And certainly if we have got a partner in the federal government that is not, coming to the table with its fair share for the City of Ottawa, then I think we would all have residents who are very upset. So I'm grateful for this conversation. Not grateful for this new mic, which seems a little harder to use and doesn't work as well. So I think that we have to ask the federal government for more, for a fair deal, for an organization that takes full advantage of the services that we provide as a city and our workforce. And all of those people, not all of them, many of them live in the City of Ottawa and pay property taxes in the City of Ottawa. So I'm fully supportive of this initiative, Mr. Mayor, and appreciate you bringing it forward, and appreciate all the information that staff gave us today. I think in support of that initiative, or I don't know how you could see these stats and not support that. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Kelly.